Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulil Kareem. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Takaful online course. And today's topic is a continuation of the term used in Takaful. And we are at the term 18, which is related to medical and health. Medical and health in Takaful. It's a contract that provides a specified medical treatment. Benefit such as, for example, a cost, so it is a kind of a policy provided to the contributors or to a specific policy holder, but this kind of coverage is related to medical or health, which is related normally to the cost of hospitalization, Takaful surgical and physician consultation fee, against, of course, the risk of the participants being diagnosed with a certain illness or suffering injuries as a result of an accident. So he may have an accident, he will encounter accidents, damage, resulted kind of medical treatment. So we will be covering this kind of costs. It could be hospitalizations, for example, accident, they will go to the hospital, or any kind of an accident result coverage related to what's so-called medical and health. The other one is the mortality table. It is a term also found and used and found in the policies. It is a kind of statistical table that showing the death rate at each age. So what is the age? What's the death rate on each age? Normally it is expressed at the number of deaths per thousand, meaning that age, a rate of age on 16, 17, 18, 90, 70, and so on and so forth, specific age, and the rate of each age. So normal also the governments of statistics sometimes provide this kind of statistic on the rate, but this is very important to the Takaful, because normally the actuarials will use this kind of table to project some kind of pricing and to define also the contributions, and it is related also with the sustainability of the funds. So mortality table is used also by actuary for pricing. It gives a kind of impressions. For example, the age of 70, what's the rate of death per thousands, and so on and so forth, so they can do some kind of calculation and projections. The term number 18 is mudaraba. Mudaraba trust or mudaraba profit sharing, which is a kind of contract. Basically, it is a partnership. Mudaraba is coming from the ad-darb, which is a traveling, and normally the mudaraba is mostly traditionally related with the business traveling. It's a kind of a contract on profit between the capital provider and the mudarib, whereby the capital provider puts some money for the mudarib, who will be the fund manager, who will be the entrepreneur, who will be the businessman who will run the business for the interests of the capital provider. So the capital provider will contribute money, and the mudarib will contribute work, meaning he will come with the expertise, will come with his knowledge of business. Then they will team up. You know, capital and experience will team up to form a joint ventures or mudaraba, whereby the contract will be on the profit, which means in case of profit generated will be shared between the capital provider and the mudarib based on the ratio that has been agreed upon. And in case of losses, of course, it should be 100% borne by the capital provider, unless there is a kind of misconduct, breach of the terms and the conditions by the mudarib. Then at that particular case and scenario, he will be liable to compensate the capital. So this is the mudaraba. And mudaraba is used in banking, and it's used also in Takaful, especially in the investment side. In the investment side will be the mudaraba is used, whereby the Takaful operator will invest the money based on mudaraba, meaning that the Takaful operator will be act as a mudarib as well in some of the stages and the structures of the Takaful. The item number 18 is the mudarib or the entrepreneur. As mentioned, the mudarib is basically the person who will run the show of the business. So the capital provider will give the money, let's say 100,000. Then the mudarib will take this 100,000 and invest the money. And here it depends, because mudaraba, when you go into details, it is divided in the general mudaraba, restricted mudaraba. Unrestricted mudaraba, basically there is no restrictions on the mudarib to invest the money anywhere. Restricted mudaraba, whereby the capital provider will put some restrictions, some terms and conditions to govern the nature of the business. So the mudarib, who is the fund manager, who is the entrepreneur, who is the CEO, who manage the business, sometimes based on the mandate of the capital provider, and again same rules, in case of profit they will be shared between them according to the ratio, and if in case of losses it will be 100% borne by the capital provider, unless there is a misconduct, negligence, or violations of the term and the conditions agreed upon. The term number 20 is the muqasa. Muqasa is a kind of debt settlement by contract transaction. So basically, normally the muqasa, there is a Sharia IOF standard on the muqasa, whereby it should be a kind of debt relationship between A and B, whereby A is debtor to B, B is debtor to A. So there is a kind of existence of debt from both sides. So what they will do, they will do a kind of muqasa, whereby they will set off this kind of obligations, which is the debt. So instead of paying me or paying you, so what we do the muqasa, we do the set off in the liability, whereby the debt will be reduced or permanently cancelled. It depends on the amount of the debt. And we call it also in a banking system clearance room. So clearance room basically, or room clearance, so basically is a kind of mechanism of muqasa and debt settlements that normally the central banks, you do it to settle different liability among different parties. This is the last term here in these sessions. We carry on the remaining terms in the coming sessions, bi'idhnillah. With that, thank you very much, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.